All right, what is up, fellow benchwarmers? Welcome to the Fantasy Benchwarmers B League Draft. We are halfway into the second round. Sorry for the late start because we recorded an episode. But just let's look at the first couple of rounds. Surprising, Mikal Bridges goes
Yeah,
11.
yeah, that helped me a little bit. At least
Surprise.
AD and Lillard fell to me. Uh yeah, the others were as per usual, as per the ranks. No,
Yeah.
Mikal 11.
Second round, nothing surprising yet in second round.
I'll just explain why I picked AD over Lillard. There's not. I think both of them are risky, but I have Lillard in our league. Jeremy, I think, has been posting that on X or Twitter. So I just wanted somebody different.
Mhm.
Try to spread the risk around. So, but I'm very happy that I had the choice between the two of them. No, because I didn't want to choose Kyrie. So that helped.
And Kyrie was picked just before you
Yeah.
took.
Actually, I have AD and then Trey. That is not really a advisable combination because Trey's field goal is very low. AD's free throw is probably problematic, but they actually complement each other better than other people think. No, aside from the field goal, I think AD's free throws have improved already to the point that you don't have to really punt. No, with AD, and Trey
Yeah.
is very durable. Trey is very durable compared to AD. Ah,
Plus, there are elite categories that they can dominate. Right, AD, the
yeah.
steals, the blocks, he can the defensive stats, he can dominate that. If he's playing really well and really healthy. Plus, then Trey dominates the assist. Right, he can lead that assist category for
I
you.
just
So those they
just
can be
say
anchors on
something.
those categories.
Just want to say something. I saw that I don't have anybody in my queue, and I didn't want Jeremy to.
No, someone commented about that in the first draft that we did. The guy found it funny when you told me I didn't have any Q players in my queue. It's just I
But
was so tired that
yeah,
day, and I just wanted to go with the flow and see what
actually,
happens. Honestly,
right
I
now,
wasn't too ready for the draft that day.
right now, while I'm doing this podcast and I'm drafting, I understand why Jeremy doesn't have anybody in the queue, because you're talking, you're especially Jeremy in the beginning, he was alone, so that is even harder. You're talking, you're thinking, and you're looking at what other people are drafting. So it's hard to see, okay, who do I put in my queue? Do I have players in my queue? So it's really hard. It's really hard. No, so
Yeah,
let's give
plus
Jeremy a pass for that.
no, plus honestly, that day, that first draft, I wasn't too prepared in the sense that I really didn't have a lot of time to dive into all the rankings and see who's in this tier, who's in this tier. And like I told you in the, in our one of our episodes, I don't do my own rankings or just write down all the players that I wanted. So I just went with the flow and see who's available and then go from there. Um, so that might contribute to me looking flustered when it was my time.
Yeah, Darius Garland was just picked, and he's someone I really want. At the range I was about to pick, he was picked 28, so that's in the high range of where he's being picked. No, he's being picked. That's the highest I've seen him being picked. Lowest I think is 40 something. I've seen a draft where he fell to 43, 44. So that was
Where are
possible.
those drafts? Where are those drafts?
Well, I've seen it in Facebook in some fantasy groups. So I don't know. I guess our
40.
our listeners are better. No, they don't let those people fall that low. So that is one of the surprises. Another thing here is usually the risky players, Kawhi, Paul George, Jimmy Butler. These players, where they fall is very interesting also. No, this draft, Paul George went 27th, but we still have Jimmy Butler and we still have Kawhi available. So that means this draft might be more conservative. No,
And it seems
maybe.
like that's the pecking order. Paul George first, Jimmy Butler next, and then Kawhi. Kawhi's last.
Maybe
Always
I
last.
I think Jimmy Butler should be first though. If I'm the one picking, I pick Jimmy first, then Paul George, then Kawhi. But I understand why you pick Paul George first because I do think Dame Lillard gets traded, whether before the season, whether some point of the season, he gets traded to Miami. No, so that will hurt Jimmy Butler a lot. No, a whole lot. So I think that that puts him a little bit lower than Paul George.
All right. So Jimmy Butler, as we were talking about him, gets picked.
Fox is 32nd. I think that's
Third.
very high. That's high, for the Aaron Fox. Although he's coming off a great season, but also I want to
Another surprise pick here, Vucevic goes 29, which
high.
a little higher than what we've seen before.
Yeah, there are two there are very differing opinions on Vucevic. No, like Dan Besbris loves him so much, Josh Lloyd doesn't love him as much. So for me, I'm more of in the he's more of top 40, I think, not top 30. I do though I don't really think he's gonna play 82 games this season like last year. So I have him top 40.
All right. Is the screen too small? Can you see it? Right. It's
Yeah,
fine,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. It's
Right.
fine. I just want to mention Luigi Custodio. He asked me about his team. Apparently, he was part of the draft the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and he said that I criticized every pick he did. So I just
Was he the
want to
last
say,
pick?
no, he was not the last pick, but he was the one who picked Anthony Edwards. I said that Anthony Edwards is the only guy that I'm not that okay with in the first round. Remember when we were looking
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
first round, we said Anthony Edwards. But I told him, it's hard to really analyze the team as it is. No, I could look at the pick at what position, but I don't know the build of these managers. Of course, they have their own builds. So don't.
yeah.
I mean, if you are listening to us and we criticized your pick, it's not really
It's
definitely
really
correct.
more on it's not really about your team composition, but
Yeah,
it's more on where you pick them,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's more on, is it too early? Is it, you know, a little late? But again, like we said, every manager has their own rankings. Every manager view certain players differently, right? And he's not alone in seeing Anthony Edwards as someone who's, a high pick, right? A lot of managers also feel that Anthony Edwards will take that next step towards maybe a first round, ending maybe in the first round, right? Uh, After the season. So yeah, it's really not about, the team composition might be okay depending on, the views of your strategy, depending on your strategy.
Also,
Uh,
what I told him is I don't think that there's a 0% chance Anthony Edwards becomes a first rounder. I just said that picking him there maybe will remove all the value for Anthony Edwards. No,
yeah,
so maybe picking him later on will be better. So a while ago we talked about the risky players. Another part of the draft that we're interested is where Victor Wembanyama falls. No, he's still here.
yeah.
So will
So
I
far,
pick him? It's my turn. Will I pick him or will I go
we
with
talked about
Evan
him.
Mobley? Yeah, exactly.
I
Because I'm
We
thinking of
talked about him before this, comparing him with Mobley. I actually like Mobley um, a lot. It's just that I didn't have a chance to pick him. I'm not on high on rookies really, even when Banyama. I just feel like, it's going to be an up
that's
and
true.
down season. So that's just me. I'm not
No, no, I,
saying
I
you
I'm
might
I'm
want.
gonna pick Mobley. No, I don't know if I'm gonna regret that, but I also like Mobley. When Banyama, if he falls to me in the next round, I might consider. But I'm also eyeing Jamal Murray. I want the guard for my next pick. No, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing two bigs. I'm just trying this out. My one of our friends, who's also a very uh, good fantasy manager, actually has this same team right now in our high school league. AD, Trey Young, and Mobley. So I'm
Is
trying
it
his.
RD?
Excuse me.
Is it the one in RD?
Yeah, in our league, yes, in our league. So I'm trying it out. Let's see. No, but he did. I think his other guard. I'm not too sure who his other. I think it's Garland. I'm not too sure. But Garland is out, so I'm looking at Jamal Murray or Jordan Poole. I'm high on Poole. I've told people I'm high on Poole. I think he averages 25 points a game this season. I believe that the problem I have with Poole is uh
He
he's
might
gonna be
just
shut
get
down.
points.
He
No.
might be shut down. So that's my worry. Sengun over Porzingis. That's interesting.
Sengun is being drafted high.
Yeah, I
Top
know.
50.
Drafted
Top
high.
50.
Kristaps is very, very. But I need assists, no? I need some assists, and I think, huh? Let's see what we can do here. Poole is there, Murray is there. Okay, let's let this run down, But Kristaps is very, very enticing here. Just talking through my pick here. But as I said, I like Poole here, I like Jamal here, I like Zach Lavine here, I like those three here in this range. So we're gonna go Jamal. We talked about it previously in this episode about
Did
Denver.
that affect you?
No, I really like Jamal this year.
All right.
I really researched the depth chart before the draft season, and I really saw the depth of Denver as being question mark. No, Bruce Brown's departure for me is a big blow for the team. They didn't replace him. They didn't replace
No,
him.
they did not. Well, Christian Braun maybe was the quote unquote replacement
Yeah,
player.
yeah. So since we still have 23 picks before our turn, we can talk about certain players here. Who do you want to talk about?
Um, who's a good
Kessler.
LeBron is picked third round here.
Okay, what position? What draft position? 30 something, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
down
see.
on LeBron.
28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 30, 34.
What what spot will will it be for you to say I'm picking LeBron? 100%. What position? If
Late
he's there, you're gonna
40s. Late 40s.
late 40s.
Yeah.
That's
How
a
down
big.
are you on LeBron?
I'm not that down. I mean, maybe maybe 36 to 37, maybe
So
36
he's
to
in
30.
this range, 34, not too far.
Not too far, not too far. I think that's just right. LeBron will be LeBron. I think he still be solid. But what I said about
No,
Jamal,
that's not I'm what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about, they're deeper, the rest. He might rest a
yes,
little more,
yes, for sure.
right? He might be the Jimmy Butler type of small injury rest, right?
Yeah,
Although it was surprising because when I looked at the games played last year, Jimmy Butler played 64 games, which is not bad. Not bad at
yeah,
all.
that's true.
So,
That's true.
yeah. Another player that is interesting for me, I'm not sure if.
Oh, for me, what I said about Jamal is the opposite is true for LeBron. The depth of the Lakers is something this year,
Yeah.
right? So that works against him. So that's why I'm not too high on LeBron.
The guy on your queue, Jalen Williams, ranked 59, has fallen in the draft. He has fallen, and you picked him before me in our slow draft. I was eyeing him already, and then you messaged me if I wanted. I just didn't see it early enough. If I wanted to
I
trade, I was targeting Jalen Williams, but I also have some concerns because Chet is there. They're deeper. I'm not sure if he can, do at least part of what he did last year.
This is funny for me. People are talking about Shet and and his effect on Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams averaged what 14 points,
Yeah,
uh,
around 4 rebounds,
4 rebounds, 4
4 assists.
assists. What I think
Yeah,
the efficiency and the 1.5 steals that he had last season is what people love about Jalen Williams.
yeah,
No, these stats, of course, he was top 30 the last month or so of the year when
yeah.
they were a little bit not tanking, but he really blew up. I don't think he's gonna be top 30. That's for sure. But I think the numbers here, 50%, maybe okay, 52%. Let's put it at 48% or 49%. 82% free throw shooting. He improves his 3-point shooting. I think it will be 1.5. Points, let's put it to 15. 15 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.5 steals. It's still solid. I mean, that's very little risk in my opinion. I don't think Shet will really,
And
change that.
and and the good thing about Jalen Williams, he's not being picked there at the 60s.
Yes, he's
He's not being
dropping.
picked at 59. He's being picked at the 70s, 80s, which is, for me, I think that's good value already. I think in our draft he fell into what, the 70s.
The 70s. I would not pick him in the top 60. Having said everything I said, that Chet might not affect him that much. I still think he's being ranked too high. This is a roto rank. Okay? This is a roto rank. People have to
Yeah,
realize this is a roto rank. In roto, I'll pick him this high because look at the turnovers, 1.6 and then 4.4 assists a game. That's roto gold, no? But in head to head, I won't pick him top 60. But he fell past 70. I think he fell to 70,
yeah, 70
77.
something. I could
Yeah,
have
yeah.
picked him.
So I think that's good enough already. Not that position.
All right. Any surprises here in the fourth round?
Uh, I haven't seen much, but Julius Randle at
Actually,
56,
Walker Kessler falling here is kind of a surprise for me. He's
but
usually
just
been
right.
picked higher than this.
Yeah, but it's just right. I think that's where he
Yeah,
should be
that's
picked.
okay. Yeah.
That's okay. That's an okay spot. But I'm looking at my next pick is 69, so it's hmm. I'm looking at players already. You talked about Jalen Williams, he might fall. Zion. Zion is 61.
Zion is another player who's being picked at the 60 to 70, within that range.
If he
60,
if he
65. 60, 65.
if he fits your build, it's very very good value already. If you have the balls to, for me, I have AD, so I can't draft Zion. I can't do back to back risks. No, I have two risks early on in the first 4 or 5 picks of your draft.
That's the
I can't
same
do it.
thing. That's the same reason why I didn't pick Zion. Because in our slow draft, he was still available at the 60s, I think. And I
Yeah.
was contemplating of picking him, but I had Paul George as well, so I didn't want to take two risky players, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I passed on. But always tempting. He was always tempting at the 60s.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so 7 picks still me. I only have 3 players in my queue left.
All right,
Zion
add
is
some
still there.
players. I'm gonna be surprised if someone picks Jalen Williams. We talked about him. I don't think he's gonna be picked
Yeah, the
that much.
problem in this area is I really don't have a lot of players I like. No, I don't have much I like a lot. That's a problem of picking late. No, it's really tough because a lot of
Actually, I think this year's draft is tougher than the past years.
mm,
Positional wise, it's across the board. It's all over the place. Every level, every round, there's solid players uh, on certain positions, on all pretty much all positions, right? Last year we knew that centers would go here. After that, the drop off would be this much. This year, it's like there's no major drop off other than for the first maybe 3 4 rounds until to the next round. But it's not really a big drop off in terms of scarcity when it comes to the positions.
A lot of
We know,
centers. There are a lot of centers in the top 100 no,
yeah,
this year. Much
and
more than previous.
guards too.
Yeah. A lot of centers.
Guards,
So that makes for, it's a matter of taste. Sometimes it's Gobert who falls, sometimes it's Capella, sometimes it's Potel, sometimes Mark Williams rises, sometimes he falls out to the top 120. So
yeah.
different matter of who you really feel like will be the better players there.
And it seems like for the center position, it's more of a changing of the guard now. The Goberts have fallen, right?
Yeah.
The Vucevic have fallen. These are the usual second round guys that you picked before. And then there are risers now like the Evan Mobley, the Wembanyama, the Walker Kessler. These players are on the rise in replacing, and eventually I wouldn't be surprised if they're gonna be picked second round next year.
One of my favorite targets, my back-to-back targets was just taken. I wanted Gobert and I wanted Cameron Johnson. So Cam Johnson, I'm a huge fan of Cam Johnson. I also was able to pick him in our draft and it was past 70 also. So that was a good value. He was picked 66th, I think, here, which is, I think, just right. I know he doesn't have the name value of other stars, but he's solid. He's solid as hell. And he averages 2 to 3 3-pointers a game.
Yeah,
So, yeah. I think Jalen Williams will fall to me, as you predicted. But
he will. No one's picking him.
yeah, I'm targeting either Jalen or Jeremy Grant. No, Jeremy Grant is has a
Jeremy Grant
sleep.
is moving up the
Yeah,
rank.
yeah. And I think at this point, it's because at this range, your choices is really that's one of my targets. Now that would affect my team. One of my targets there because my next okay, I'll just get another big in the next round. I think I have to go with I'll probably go Jeremy here because as I said, why is he climbing? Look at the other options. No, I'm not high on Derek White this year. That's too high. 69 is too high. Chris Paul, yeah, Chris Paul is okay, but again, risk. No, have AD. Tyler Hero, I'm not too high on Hero. I'm not happy with Capella. So Jalen Green is too high. MPJ, as I said, a little overrated. So there's not much choices here. That's why we probably have to go with Jeremy. And the points of Jeremy Grant also. But yeah, Jalen or Chris Paul will probably be my next choice. I think at
Well,
72, Chris Paul should be fine, right?
yeah.
Although Derek White is also interesting. I find it interesting that Derek White averaged only zero point 0.7 steals last year.
But
That's
he's more of a shot blocking guard.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he averaged more blocks than steals.
Ja Morant 70th. That's too high. I mean 25 games is
Well,
25
he's
games.
going in this range. He's going in this range,
That's high.
70s to
That's high.
80s.
I think especially in a 14 team I'll drop him lower in a 14 team just because it's a 14 team league. I'll draft him lower. So there, are we taking Jalen or Chris Paul? Hmm. Do you have anybody you like here? Maybe you can help me out.
No, actually, this is, one of the tougher rounds.
Kyle
I
Kuzma.
like Jalen. Yeah, Chris Paul, I'm not too sure to be honest. But if you need the support in the assist, I think he is your guy.
That's true. That's true.
Because if you're, trying to dominate assists already, I think Chris Paul would do that for you with Trey. But
That is
honestly, I like Jalen because he's younger.
that is true also. So it's either Jalen or Chris Paul. Derek White is
I
the
think there's another set of passing guards in the next round.
yes, that is true. I don't know.
The
I just don't know
Jones,
if
The
Trey
Jones
Fall.
brothers.
Okay, let's refresh. Let's put some more players in our queue. Miles Bridges, another player I picked in our league. I like Miles. I mean, not as a person. I don't like him as a person. I like him in fantasy.
No, he was
Uh,
picked 100 in
I picked him.
our pro
I
draft.
picked him 103. So I think that's good value.
Yeah, that's great value already. Worst case, he goes what top 90. Still,
I'll tell you why I didn't pick Clint Capella here. I'm hoping that Daniel Gafford or Mark Williams fall to me. I don't see any difference between Capella, Gafford, or Mark Williams. And where is Capella? 71, right? That's
yeah.
too high. That's too high. So, but this is a risk because I'm not too sure that those players will be there. I may have to I may have to settle for Wendell or Draymond. No. So let's
Still
see.
solid. I think I still well other than Draymond, but I still like Wendell Carter over Capella. Draymond, not a big fan, but yeah, I can see why he could be better option because there's not much options as well in Golden State.
The problem, when we say our who we like, who we don't like, managers would be able to know our preference. But that's what we're here for.
No, but
Uh,
we have so many drafts that sometimes even if we like that person, we'll just try someone out just to see how that goes, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure you would have picked Dame over AD every time, except for you have other drafts as well that this
I
might
have
be the
Dame.
chance to pick AD,
Yes, yes, that's true.
right? I mean,
True.
we've had
That's true.
so many leagues, you don't want to have the same players again and again. So even if we
Yes,
like certain players, we'll try out other players just to see how that works.
that's true. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Chris Middleton, I guess we mentioned him already the last draft. We know you guys know what I think about him, so we'll not talk about him here.
It's just weird the drop off of Chris Middleton, 75.
Just because of last season, last season he wasn't healthy. People are still worried about the knee. But as I said, he was top 50, top 40, and even top 30 just 3 seasons ago. So that's too low. The upside is there. Same with Miles Bridges. Although it's different with Miles Bridges. Since I talked about Chris Middleton already, let's talk about Miles Bridges. He was top 40 for a while, right? When he was hot
He
before,
was even top. No, the peak rate rank of Miles Bridges was top 20, top 15.
for a period of time, but not for the whole season.
Yeah,
I mean,
not
tough
for the
talk.
whole season. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, but you know what he can do. No, you know what he can do. But 1 year is 1 year. Not playing for one whole season is something. The rust and
it's
everything. That
huge.
that
That's big in the
is
NBA.
huge. That's huge. So that one will drop him. But I think if you again when you're in the 90s already, 10 games is just 2.5 weeks. No, so
Yeah,
that will go by fast. And I think Lamelo is still there. We know the last time we saw both Lamelo and Miles Bridges, they were just great together. So
yeah.
I think we can expect the same thing. Maybe the conditioning will take some time, but he will pay off if you can hold on until the time when he's back to maybe 80% or 90% of his old self. So that will help.
All right. The Daniel Gafford pick surprised me a bit
Oh,
because
he
he
was picked
usually,
already.
yep, he was picked already.
Oh man,
He's usually picked a little lower than this. Um, Sometimes outside of the 100.
I like
But yeah,
Gafford.
he
I
was picked.
mean, who?
Well, we all like Gafford. I think where you pick him is also
Yeah, this one,
relevant at this
this
point.
this one is high. This one removes some value. Gafford is not a good player, by the way, but he's just a solid player, and he just doesn't have any competition. We haven't reached the Washington Wizards part of our depth chart. We haven't released that, but he doesn't have anybody behind him, and he doesn't have center eligibility yet. But I think he will. Yahoo will give him center eligibility eventually.
Chris
So
Paul, 80th. I think that's really good pick there.
Chris Paul at 80, that's solid. If I were at that spot and Chris Paul was there, I will pick him. No, I have some reservations at 70. I still find it a little high, a little rich for Chris Paul, considering he might play 25 minutes. That's possible, no, 25 to 28. He will start, but he might play 25 to 28 minutes and not play back to backs. No, so Draymond Green is another player we talked about in our depth chart. I said he's being picked a little low. He's around 90 something, but here he's picked 83rd. So that's high. So as I said, the risk that I took might not pay off because Tyus Jones is another player I was considering. It's been picked, and then the bigs are coming off the board. Gafford, Draymond, the bigs are coming off the board.
Which position do you like? So this is the first one that you've had, right? First draft. Other than the
First,
slow draft, because the slow draft is a little different, right? The slow draft you have time to really think about it. Um, but in a draft setting like this, where you only have a minute 15, there's more pressure to it. Uh, what
the
position do you
first
like?
the first pick is I've tried the first pick. I've seen the first pick. I've seen a lot of mock drafts. I've watched YouTube mock drafts. The first pick is really good this year. Especially if you don't do the reverse. I think next year we have to consider doing in slow drafts the reverse third round. Because it's just too much of an advantage considering so much the second and third round are almost equal value
Yeah.
players. No, so if you have the first pick, imagine having Jokic.
Actually, if you start with the latter part of the first round, the drop off is there already. I mean, not drop off, but the risk already there.
Yes, yes. Imagine if you have like 14th pick and you pick I don't know Sabonis or Sabonis to Jokic is a huge gap, and
Yeah,
and then and then you get two more picks in 28, 29 or 24, 25, depends if you're 12 team or 14 team. At 28, 29, you can still get, I mean, Jimmy Butler will still be there. If you like Garland will be there. You can go a lot of ways. And
that's
have
where this Matthew went. Jokic, Garland, then Vucevic.
yeah, there. I mean, it's just, although Vucevic I don't like, but there's just too much of a advantage. So the first pick will still be always be the best, and it's even better this season. It's even better this season compared to the other season. I haven't tried out the other picks, but I know as long as I don't want a second pick because I don't like to pick Embiid. It's a little too risky for my taste.
So your next draft in our FBW league, you pick ninth.
Yeah,
And
nine.
then you
Let's
have
see
a
that.
first pick. You have a first pick. The lottery last night went
Yes,
first.
I saw that I have a first pick, so at least I can try that. The ninth pick, I'm excited because I hope Lamelo falls to me. I want a team built around Lamelo. I think Lamelo is another player I like this year that I feel like he could be a top 6, top 7 player. Like how Hali is being, how Halliburton was last year. I think this is Lamelo's year. It should have been Lamelo last year, but he got hurt.
Yeah,
Jeremy knows that he got hurt. So, but I think this year could be his year. Post hype year,
yeah.
as they say.
Uh, I'm also hoping Mark Williams got picked.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're not happy about that.
Well, Capella
Um,
is there, so I might just go for Clint Capella. He's dropped to the 90s already, although I think he might be picked also before my pick. Hmm. As I said, like let's say I'm 97 and 100. I'm the 13th pick here, 97 and 100. Zach Collins is solid there at 105, 106, but there's not much difference in picking him 100 and 105. It's still better to fall down a little bit, not pick him that high at 100. I think I can still get him at 105, 106. Still, still better value, right?
that's the Wembanyama effect. I think many
Yeah.
people has really dropped him off their rankings because of Wembanyama. Although he starts, plus he's not a big
No,
fantasy contributor.
No, actually, they raised him up because they announced that he's gonna be the
Yeah, he's gonna
starter.
start, but still,
Yeah.
he is being
Ah,
drafted.
Capella was picked. So okay, I'm not picking Mitch Robinson. Robert Williams. Even
Tobias
Tobias
at
was
95, another value,
another.
good value
it-
pick, I guess.
Okay, now this will be a problem because I really don't have anybody I like here. Will I go Bruce Brown? Um,
I think you can still get Bruce Brown the next round.
yeah, I can, I can. But Austin
You need it
Reeves.
big.
Well, Jalen Duren's the remaining big hero, Zach Collins. I'm not sold on Duren, I have to be honest. But, will I go Duren over Zach Collins? It's tough. It's tough, no? But Duren
Zach
should be
Collins, I
fine.
guess, is a safer choice.
Yeah, yeah. Zach Collins should be the safer choice. I can go with Austin Reeves or Robert Williams is actually here also. But again, it's a injury risk. Let's go Duran. Yeah. Then let's go with another guard next. Maybe Dinwiddie. I don't like these guys, but at this point, at this
How about
range,
D'Lo?
I don't like D'Lo. I'm down on D'Lo this year. The depth is there of the Lakers. Uh, I think Austin Reeves would really take a step up this year. He's gonna get more
Actually, it's
ball.
surprising that Austin Reeves still there.
Yeah, that's true. But I think he'll be picked in this back-to-back uh, area. You said Bruce Brown. Yeah, Bruce Brown is a guy I'm considering.
Bruce Brown, we just had the slow draft and you picked him.
Yeah, but
I totally forgot that Buddy Hield was about to leave.
even if Buddy doesn't leave, I think Bruce is just
No, but
solid.
he won't be picked as high. I don't think he's gonna be picked that high if Buddy Hield doesn't leave.
Keldon, ooh, don't like that, but that helps me. Oh yeah, okay. Onyeka is still here. Why did I pick Duran? But anyway, I would have preferred
Because he was
Onyeka.
ranked higher.
Yes, I didn't see that. I didn't see Onyeka. But well, let's just hope Duran performs. Remember, there's still a Nurkic.
Are you going for a big lineup? You're looking at the
No,
big
I'm gonna
lineup.
go Reeves. I'm gonna go Austin Reeves. Hopefully, he doesn't get picked. If not, I would consider D'Angelo. Yeah, Mitchell is there. I'm gonna go Austin Reeves. I think 100. That's kind of low for Reeves. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 70s, sometimes he's being picked at the 70s. That's too high.
I think
80s
89
maybe
where
is
he's
okay.
ranked. Yeah, 89 where his
That's
rank
okay.
is. That's okay already. Just trying to check if there are other players here that are worth picking over him. Uh, Actually, John Collins is solid here already at 100. But I think I need some help with my. Yeah. So we're at 125. The next pick is 125. So we can talk about other players. This is the part of the draft that is both exciting and both head scratching. What's your take on Shadon Sharp?
Is he starting? I haven't seen the depth chart.
Um, Possibly yes. And Fernie Simons, Dame Lillard, Jeremy, Shadon Sharp would probably be there, and Nurkic. That's unless they start Nasir Little, but I think Scoot Henderson comes off the bench, so I think they should start Shadon and put Scoot off the bench. But even if he's starting, I don't know his fantasy profile. No, he doesn't shoot the free throws well. He doesn't get steals.
He scores.
He scores. That's all. So
Well, maybe some rebounds.
could be MPJ part two.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe a
maybe.
more athletic one, I guess,
Yeah, maybe
because he
MPJ
can
before the
dunk.
injuries.
Yeah, but I think Shadon has more to his game than MPJ. Like
Yeah, yeah.
MPJ is more like a clay, right?
That
A
makes
more
sense.
athletic clay.
That
Shadon
makes
is
sense.
not like that, right? He can drive to the basket. He can shoot threes. But I think MPJ is a better shooter, though.
MPJ, yeah, yeah. MPJ is a better shooter.
Better shooter than Shadon. But Shadon's more athletic. He can do a little more. Maybe defensively, he can improve a little more as well because of his athleticism.
That's true. That's true. So what are we here? 104. We're at round 8. So four
Round
more
eight.
rounds.
This
Four
is a
more
fast
rounds.
one. This is actually a fast draft.
Is our timer faster?
No, it's the same. It's just that I think the managers pick faster in this group.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna go
Or
with
at least it
long
feels like it's faster.
because maybe you're not drafting.
I'm not drafting, and I wasn't alone at the start.
Yeah.
I was alone at the start, so it felt slower. No, but I could sense that it's a little faster.
Is Joao here? No, not in this draft.
No, I think
Joao is
his
trash
drafts are
talking. Is trash talking me this early.
all the
So
time. Josh trash talking all the time. He's always commenting in the lotteries,
yes.
the
So
FBW leagues, teams getting high picks.
I'm gonna circle my matchup with him for this year and make sure to beat him. Keegan at 106. Okay, let's talk about Keegan. He played well in the summer league last year. Keegan Murray had the best year for a rookie in terms of 3 points. He averaged 2.6 3 pointers last year. So I think people are expecting the same thing this year. And I do expect the same thing 3 point wise, no, for Keegan. But the question mark for him is he gonna do something else than shoot 3 pointers? And he showed that in the summer league. He put up defensive stats, no, stocks in the summer league. Now will that translate? That's the question mark. But I
No.
think he will get a lot of chances this year in Sacramento. Harrison Barnes, I
If
think would
they start, I think last year he had some. They were really playing him a lot, but I'm not sure that the changes in Sacramento would be that much, right?
yes. The
I've seen
change
the
might
depth
be
chart. It's pretty much the same players,
yeah.
right? They're bringing back almost everyone, so I
They
don't
they
think they're gonna change much.
the only worry I have with him, I think Harrison Barnes will take a step back. He's just getting older, and Keegan. It's just tough for them not to play Keegan. You just saw what Keegan can do last year. He already showed a lot of promise. So going to the sophomore season, I think he will be used more. My concern there is they signed Sasha Vezenkov, the MVP of the EuroLeague, and that guy is not young. No, that guy is basically like Bojan or Bogdan. No, he's a veteran. He can shoot. He can shoot.
Mhm.
He's basically a shooter like Keegan. No, so that is my concern with Keegan Murray. I don't know if how that affects him, the minutes, the role, but he's young, so I think he should be fine. He should be fine.
Jabari Smith. How do you like Jabari Smith this year?
I think he's gonna take a step up, and a lot of people are. We don't know how Ime Odoka's entry to Houston will affect the rotation, but Sengun, people have been saying he doesn't play as good defense as Jabari. Odoka is a defensive coach. They might decide to play Jabari a lot at the five because he can defend compared to Sengun. I don't buy that. I don't think Jabari can withstand playing a lot of minutes at center. So I think he's still more of a power forward, but he will play some small ball center minutes. The improvement might come from the field goal. No, I think he'll shoot better, not way better, but a little better. So if you are punting field goal, I think Jabari will be solid pick, especially where he's going past 100. If you're
Yeah,
punting
past
field goal,
100.
that's a good pick. If past 100 you're punting field goal, that's a good pick.
Who do you think ranks higher at the end, Keegan or Jabari?
I think in this roto format, it's Keegan. I think Keegan will rank better. Who will be the better head to head player though? I think it's Jabari. I think it's Jabari. He can do much more than Keegan. Remove the field goal percentage. Remove that. I think Jabari
Aren't you
just
worried about the Houston depth? I'm a bit worried about the Houston depth.
a little bit, but Jabari, when you look at young teams, you look at not at their salary or contract. You look at their draft position. No, that's what you look at. And
Yeah,
he was picked third or second, third. He was picked third by Houston.
yeah,
That means something, and that means they're invested in him. No, so even if he stumbles a bit, they're still gonna play him because they need him to develop. So yeah, Tari Eason is there. Tari Eason will push him for some minutes, but uh, it's not as if Jawari is an old player. He's still young, so they'll get the departure of KPJ will be big. That will be
yeah.
huge.
That
Uh,
that's going to
that
be
that
a
that
lot of minutes.
yes, yes, and I think if you look at them right now, the first five is set. Van Vliet, Dylan Brooks, Jalen, Jabari, Sengun, that's set. And if you add, let's say, Tari Eason off the bench, Amen Thompson off the bench, that's still enough. No, you still can have 8 or 9 players because they lost a lot of players too. They lost KJ Martin. No, now they lose KPJ. They lose. I think Josh Christopher is not there. I'm not too sure yet about that. But they lose Eric Gordon, right? Eric Gordon was there last
Yeah.
year. Yeah,
No, Eric
so
Gordon is in.
Phoenix now.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
but last year they lost him as well
I mean,
to the
he
Clippers.
yeah, later
They,
on, but I
yeah,
mean, he was there early on, part of the
yeah, he
rotation.
was.
So
Yes.
they have lost a lot of players in the rotation also. Even if they added like Amen Thompson and maybe the internal development of some of the young guys will push them for more minutes. No, so I think should be fine. Jabari should be fine. It's more of Tari Eason. I hope Tari can get 22, 23 minutes at least. No, that will help him. And Amen Thompson also. Those are the two guys that are question marks. No, depends on how they're used.
Yeah, I just feel like the depth of uh, Houston is going to be something to monitor as well, because they have young players, lots of young players as well.
I thought Bruce Brown will fall to me. He went 115. That's really very good value. Whoever picked him there.
Actually, there's lots of players here, you know, like lots of players that are being picked uh, a little higher, I guess.
Who? Can you name them? So let's talk
Osar,
about Osar has been
eighth
picked.
round.
I
Yeah,
didn't see it. Oh, Osar has been picked. That's too high. Come on.
Keldon.
Uh
Keldon was picked
Keldon, that's
seventh
high.
round,
Yeah, when he was picked, I
right?
saw it 98. That's too high.
I think I'm not sure about Jaden. Jaden being picked eighth round.
Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, he's been picked high. Gary Trent has been picked as well, eighth round.
Jaden is high. Yeah, Jaden is high. If you want to pick Jaden, I would rather pick the Anthony Melton. You know how I love Melton, but if I'm not picking him high this year, the Anthony Melton. But if you're picking McDaniels, I'd rather pick Melton. I'm surprised Shadon Sharp is still here.
Yeah, and Gary Trent was picked eighth round. I mean, I haven't seen Gary Trent being picked until what the last few rounds, last couple of
Yeah.
rounds. So lots of players
There
are being picked high. Sadiq
there are
Bey
sur-
got picked ninth round.
there are surprises here. Like Josh Hart is still available.
That's what
Uh,
what I'm saying.
he
Porter
should
is
be.
still there. Um,
Yeah,
right? I mean, Hart, Porter, Conley. Actually, I'm surprised Maturin is still available,
yeah. Maturin is another
especially
player.
after the Buddy Hield news.
That's true. That's true.
No one's touching Ben Simmons here in this draft.
Actually, yeah, good. Funny that you mentioned that. Yeah, I didn't think of Ben Simmons.
But he's in your queue.
He's in my queue, but we just put him there.
But
I look.
but usually yeah, maybe the 10th round he gets picked.
Yeah, I'm partial with Conley because he's another player who I feel is being overlooked. And for the assists that he gives, he's solid. I'm just looking at Josh Hart. I like Conley and Hart back to back here. I think those are very solid picks. Let's go Conley. And then let's hope Josh Hart will fall. And
I think he will.
yeah, I think he's a solid player already. Then if Ben Simmons is still there, then in the 150s, okay, I'll pick him. But I don't know. I know he's already almost free money at this point of the draft. But don't you feel like Ben Simmons will just disappoint you?
Yeah, I he's been posting a lot again, so I am not, you know, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah,
I think that's
Denny,
where I'm at.
Denny Abdiha. I should say I checked Denny again, and I know you're high on him, and that's the good thing about having someone see their opinions, because I think Denny, I might have overlooked Denny also. I think he has a good role this year with Washington, especially with Kuzma and Poole being, shot heavy players. They would there. Ben Simmons was picked. Just talked about it.
Did you see the Andre Iguodala interview about Jordan Poole
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Golden State?
Yes.
And for me, why do I sense that Poole and Kuzma might not get along?
No, they're friends.
Are they?
Yeah, they're good friends. That's what I heard.
I just feel like they might. Both of them are scorers. I think Poole has a lot more in his bag, but yeah, I just feel like there might not be enough shots for them between the two of them.
Okay, now at this point of the draft, I'll be super surprised if Paul Reed doesn't get picked. No, it's
No,
130.
before you, he will be picked. Before you.
He should have been picked already at by now. I guess these people are not listeners to a lot of experts. But yeah, he should be picked soon. At this point, it's a matter of what you need. Yes, you said Osar was picked, right? So I
Yeah.
probably would look at Benedict Maturin and Tari Eason as my
I don't think
picks.
Maturin gets to you.
Well, that's true. I still have 20
Is
picks before
Adams
me.
injured?
No, yeah, that's a good player you mentioned. Yeah, it's in my queue. Yeah, it's already in my queue. Adams is a good. If he falls there, Paul Reed. Paul Reed was picked. That's a good pick. 133. That's solid. Are you surprised about anybody being still here in the board?
Maturin.
Yeah.
I'm surprised about Maturin. Not that because not because he should be ranked higher than he's 148,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more like the Buddy Hield news everyone was talking about. Yeah, Maturin would be it's now all for Maturin. The shots would now be for Maturin. So I'm surprised he's still here, given that some managers here pick Sadiq Bey. I mean, Sadiq Bey and Maturin are pretty much the same player, right?
Well, Maturin's better, I should say.
Yeah, that's it. That's my point. Their
Actually,
their
still,
stat set are pretty much the same, but I think Maturin is a better scorer.
Keldon
And
Johnson being picked 98, that surprised me more. I think he takes a step back because if they start Zach Collins and Wembanyama, Vassell, no. I think Keldon might be going to the bench, possibly. That's what I heard. No, that's what I heard. He could come off the bench. So the minutes, the usage, the points might take a hit, and that is the only thing he does. So that's something to consider when you pick somebody like Keldon Johnson.
Yeah, actually, that's too high. Seventh round. I
Yeah, that's
mean,
too high.
over Okongwu, for example, over John Collins.
Yeah, that's too high. There are players here like Quentin Grimes, not as talked about as maybe Maturin,
Yeah,
but
I think he's also going to start, right, for
yeah.
the Knicks.
How about Ray Murphy? He's the top player here. I know he's injured, but at what point is he worth it?
No, we talked about it, right? Trey Murphy.
Mhm.
You said, it's just so hard to pick him, given that Zion's going to come back. They're gonna be they're gonna be complete to start the season. Pretty much complete, right?
But at this point, 140.
Yeah, well, yeah, he should be picked already. But again, a lot of players were picked. I think there's a lot of players that should have been picked already.
And then another
Like
player
the
here,
PJ Washington, the
PJ was picked.
yeah, but I mean, 10th round,
Yeah, it's
he
true.
rarely goes past what 120. Usually, it's the 120 range, right?
Um, Javon Carter. No, he's a possibly starting point guard for Chicago. Um, yeah, he's boring as hell, but I think he gets
No,
to
I
one
don't think anyone's gonna pick Javon Carter in a 14 team.
in a 14 team maybe. In
I
a
don't think
16
any
team, I picked him in a 16 team. There, Maturin goes. Okay.
right.
I was
That's
hoping he falls.
you'll be so lucky if he fell to you.
That's true, but I was hoping really that he falls to me because I needed his scoring uh a little bit. The best scorer left is Kelly Oubre, who just signed with Philadelphia, but I don't like Kelly Oubre. I
Oubre
think
Oh yeah, Kelly.
he signed with Philadelphia. He signed with
Yeah, yeah.
Philadelphia. So some people might get
No,
him.
Javon Carter is scorer.
Well, I don't think he will score with Levine and DeRozan and Vucevic and all those players there. He should be happy to average 10 or 11 points a game. No. So, well, right now,
Malik Monk. I mean,
nah.
you need scoring, right? That's all he does too.
Hmm. How about the Anthony Melton? I don't need I don't need. He's not scorer, but if he falls to me at 153, that's not bad.
At some point, you're gonna drop him again
Yeah, maybe.
for sure. That's
For
the
sure, for
Anthony
sure.
Melton story.
There, Trey Murphy was picked. Steven
Actually,
Adams.
three would have been a good pick
Trey would have been a good pick, yeah. Now he's
if he
so
fell.
I'm thinking about Obi Toppin. No, I don't know. He should start, right? But I don't know what he can do. And we haven't seen much of Obi Toppin. We know he
Score.
does.
He can score.
He can score, but the defensive stats are empty. So will
Maybe
he?
rebound. Actually, I don't know if he can rebound.
Yeah, he doesn't rebound that well. No, for a big man, he can dunk.
Well, that's for sure. He can.
Patrick Williams there. Let me try Patrick Williams. He always teases us. So let's see if helps. Isaiah
But you're
Stewart.
right. It's so hard to get players from the Chicago Bulls because Zach Levine, Vucevic, the big three.
There, Melton went. I would have picked Melton if he fell to me. That was too much of a value. 146. My God.
Isaiah Stewart is still there.
Yeah, he's the best left, I think. Best big left.
Patrick Beverly is in Philly, so that might, you know,
Might affect, yes,
affect Melton's value.
a little bit. Yeah, that's true. Uh Tari Eason is staring at me. I don't want to keep picking him, but he's he's the best value here.
I heard
Just
Cam Thomas will play. You need a scorer.
I don't think well, well if Ben Simmons gets hurt, yeah, he might play. They have DSJ. They have
What's the status on Luke Kennard?
he's not hurt.
No,
He's
he got
definitely not
injured
hurt.
last year, right?
Yeah, I think he's fine. I think he's fine. I haven't checked that though, but I think he's okay. Most of my targets, the ones that I want, are gone. So I have Rishon Holmes here. I told you about him.
Last pick.
Could be my last pick.
Worth a last pick. Yeah, worth. No one's
Yeah, I
picking him,
mean,
I think.
well, we don't know. At this point, it's very deep already. Somebody will be thinking of him. Somebody would think of him. Um, is Amen still there? No, Amen is.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not here anymore. He's not in my queue anymore. So he was picked. Amen was picked. So
No, he wasn't picked yet. Oh yeah. He was just picked.
Goes. That helps me. Though I've been thinking of Obi. You know, they pick him, so that's gone. And I have somebody in my pick. It's Keontae George, a scorer from Utah. He's another player that, you know,
That's
a
for the
rookie.
last pick, though.
Yeah, that's for the last pick, and maybe more for a 16 team than a 14 teamer. But just somebody that I wanted to mention out there. If you're looking for super deep league players, Keontae is somebody you can consider. Now it's close to my turn, and I don't like anybody. Hmm.
I
How about
usually
Gordon
go
Hayward?
for who's the starter. Who among here is a sure starter. At least the minutes are gonna be there. I mean, that's
Gordon
how I
Hayward.
think, right?
That means that
Hayward's the
Gordon.
starter. Hayward's starter.
I think he's gonna start. I think he's gonna start.
Hayward is still there,
Yeah,
but he'll play what half a season,
I'll just drop him. I mean,
but
I'd rather have him than Powell, right?
maybe.
Hayward or Eason. I just can't.
I mean, if you need scoring, I think it's Hayward. If you need other things like this defensive stuff, it's Eason.
True. But I think I need scoring more. So
Well,
maybe
you
we
don't
pick.
have a scorer other than Trey and well, Jamal can score.
Hmm, let's see. Yeah. I mean, I'll pick Eason might be there the next pick. Sean might be there the next pick. So I'm fine. Eason or Holmes.
They will be there.
Yeah, I think unless this guy picks them back to back.
Oh, FT got picked.
Ah,
No, he won't. Holmes is ranked 205. I don't think some managers look way down there. I think Olinik gets picked first before Holmes.
Powell. Okay. Olenek is solid also.
But I
It's
think
another.
Olinik comes off the bench this year.
He will. He will come off the bench. John Collins will start. Laurie Kessler. So he should come off the bench. But uh, he can score. Christian Wood can score. Yeah. I think I'll go Eason. I think. Uh-oh.
He left. Oh, I think Tomish got lost. The connection got lost. So let's see. Although in his queue, the good thing about it is that he has Eason in his queue. So even if he loses connection, he'll still be able to pick Eason. So I'm co-managing the team, so I won't be able to pick for him. So I think it's going to be auto pick. All right, Eason gets picked.
There. Sorry, I got disconnected.
All right, so you were auto picked, and good thing you had someone on your queue. So Eason got picked for you.
It's okay. Uh, that was who I was considering anyway. So yeah, last how many picks?
Last 12 picks.
Last 12 picks. It slowed down in the end.
Yeah, because I think everyone was scrolling through the list of names. It was tougher to choose because there were a few names there that were kind of in a similar boat, I guess.
Hmm.
It's more like so towards the last few rounds. What do you consider? What your needs are, right? What
Um, I
category
would
you
want.
need? High
I would.
upside players.
Yeah. I would want at least one high upside player, the player who can go up 40, 50 slots. No, last year you can get upside anywhere, but in the last round it's easier because of how low you are already. No, so
Yeah.
just get one. I don't want to try a lot, like two or three. I don't like that. I find it too risky, and the chances of you nailing all two or three will be very low. So I go with some players that are like Gordon Hayward, Josh Hart, Mike Conley. I think those are boring players, but they kind of round up your team well. And then the last pick I went Eason. So I think I have enough upside there. Caleb Martin.
Caleb Martin gets picked. Another player who could be on his way to Portland.
Is he?
I
Did
don't
you
know.
see? Okay, did you see the revised 4-team trade?
Just now? Was it released
Yeah,
just
the
now?
just earlier this morning, I think Phoenix is entering the picture. Utah also, but Phoenix is the one that people are saying are trying to help because I think they want to move Aiton. Um, they're trying to move Aiton, and I think they're gonna get back Nurkic and another player. Maybe they're trying to improve their depth because
Hmm.
considering they think Aiton will probably be just somebody who rebounds, who sets screens, you know, get open putbacks. So they might not need a player who's
You don't need a scoring center.
yeah. So
You need someone
Nurkic
who can do the dirty work.
Nurkic is a scoring center, but I think
But he
he's
also does a lot of stuff,
yeah, yeah. So
right?
I think the deal was Sexton and Nurkic for Aiton basically. They get Sexton and Nurkic. I think Tyler Hero is being rerouted to Utah in that scenario. So I
That's not good
might
though for Tyler Hero.
well he will be their starting point guard, but he will be similar to Jordan Clarkson a little bit. That's not good for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last six picks, Chino I think has a chance to pick Rashawn Holmes. The way I see his picks, he went with Weissman. Okay, so but he's a guy
No,
who
but
seems
that's a better option.
if Weissman is starting, I think
If
if
both of
he is,
them comes off the bench, I think Wiseman still plays a lot more.
I don't I don't necessarily think that's a given, but Yeah, possibly,
It's
possibly.
just that Rashawn Holmes hasn't played for a while. Like it's been what 2 years?
He has played
He
one
hasn't
minute.
been relevant fantasy wise for what 2 years now.
Well, he had some family issues, so I think that
Yeah.
helped hurt his
So
game.
I think some of the guys now don't really know what he can do, right?
True.
Especially if you're new to the game, new to fantasy. Because Rashawn Holmes was a what top 60
Sean Holmes
at
was top
best.
at best, yeah, top 60. Yes.
So when he plays for Sacramento, which was ages ago, the Sacramento wasn't good then. Now Sacramento is good already. See, Lowry got picked.
I'm low on three pointers, so maybe after the draft I would look at what I can do. But one thing about my team is it's very deep. It's right. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's
it's super deep. I don't even know who I can drop here aside from Eason. Of course, Eason can be dropped after a week or two if he doesn't pan out. But it's a deep team.
yeah. I don't think you're gonna be dropping anyone until the start of the season when you see what happens with Hayward, what happens with Eason. Right? Even if you drop Eason now, the player you're gonna pick might not be as good.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't think you're gonna make any move until the end of the season, until the start of the season. Yeah, it's deep. It's deep. Some players that were picked early might be dropped in a couple of weeks.
So right now the last pick. Let's see who it is. Patrick Williams is second to the last pick. That's a very, very good, solid pick. Super solid. He he just has a lot of upside, you know. Um
Yeah, but we've been talking about Patrick
I
Williams for
know, I know.
ages.
I know, but it's 167. It's 167 in a
Yeah,
14 team league. So you can do worse. No?
my take on Patrick Williams, as long as Levine, uh, DeRozan, and Vucevic are there, he's not gonna be very fantasy relevant.
Okay, they ran out the clock. I don't
All
know. I
right,
didn't.
that's it. I don't know who got the last pick. I think this is a bug from Yahoo, but yeah, that's it, guys, for this draft. Next draft
Jarris
would be
Walker.
on.
Jarris Walker.
How did you see that? Where did you see it?
Draft results. Draft results.
Yeah, I meant the draft results. Oh,
But I
here.
see Jarris Walker is the last pick.
All right, guys. Let me just remove this. All right, guys, that's it. Next draft will be on Sunday.
Yeah.
I have a draft on Sunday, and with that, hopefully this helped. We'll see you guys again whenever, maybe in the next episode. Bye, guys.